peeps, it's your girl Dash coming back to your phone takes blood, guys. It's that time again. It is horror short time, and this one is titled Miner's Mountain. Now, I know nothing about this one. I'm excited, but it's scary though. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts within you guys.
About time.
Evening, ma'am. My name's Officer Jeffries.
I know who you are, Gary. You can drop the cop routine.
Come on now, Roseanne. Have some respect. I understand you've been hearing some strange noises tonight.
You stopped as soon as I hung up the phone.
Do you know which direction it was coming from?
Not too sure, really. First it seemed like it was coming from down below near the ravine. Then I heard something running through my driveway. Hooves. From a deer, maybe, I don't know. So I went to my reading room to see what the hell was out there. I could have swore it was an injured animal. It's making these grunting noises. That's when I dialed you. Then I saw these yellow eyes just staring at me. They were staring a long time.
Why would you run the window down? And then he didn't really turn his whole car on, so. And now he's about to doze off with the window down? Okay.
And that's pretty much it. I fell asleep. Woke up about an hour later and left.
What about the deer?
What about it?
In your report?
I know what my report says. I just don't see how that's relevant.
Because I deem it relevant?
What happened to your windshield? Yeah, it says here your patrol car needed a new windshield at the county motor pool following your visit with Miss Barnes.
I don't remember.
Sheriff, we're just trying to put the pieces together. Nobody's accusing you of anything.
I am.
And there it is.
You think you can come in here and cast the same aspersions on me you did back then and expect different results?
Sheriff,
Tell me what really happened.
Did you see her? Did you see what was left of her?
Goodness.
I did not murder Roseanne Barnes, nor did I have anything to do with her death.
Sheriff. Please. What happened when you woke up?
That's because he didn't turn all the way.
Damn it!
Draining on battery. Oh boy.
Hello?
But the window's still down. I'm just not understanding that part to lock the door. He's still asleep. Okay. Play along.
I found a dead deer in the road. Looked like an animal had gotten to it. I looked around for a short while longer, then came back here and filed my report.
And what time would you say you arrived back at the office?
2:15, give or take.
How long would you say that drive back was?
Oh, I don't know, half an hour maybe.
20 minutes. We timed it.
Of course you did.
There used to be a gas station at the base of Miners Mountain, correct? Well, we recovered footage taken from a nearby traffic cam of you there that night, washing what looked to be blood off of your windshield.
I clipped the deer on my way out.
Where were you from 7:30 night before last until 10 a.m. yesterday morning?
Wait, what? I was at home with my wife. I came into work around 9:30.
Do you normally come in around that time?
No, I overslept. It was my anniversary day before yesterday. I took my wife to dinner at Miner's Kitchen and had a little more to drink than I should have.
I gotta ask, what's up with the whole Miner thing? As I understand it, this town hasn't done anything of the sort since the 1920s.
Back in the day, the Atlantic Coastline Railroad attempted to build a tunnel through the mountain. It didn't work. A shaft gave way and trapped the miners inside. Out of respect for the men and women who lost their lives, the community dubbed it
Miners Mountain.
There you go.
Did anyone make it out?
Gentlemen, I'm done here.
Sir, I understand this could be...
Have a good evening. It's hunting season. I've got poachers to contend with.
The body of an out-of-state woman was found yesterday morning about 10 a.m. She was severely beaten and her head was removed from her body. Very much like Miss Barnes. She was found about a half mile from where Roseanne was murdered. You are very familiar with that area, aren't you, Sheriff? It must have been tough back in the day. Being the only black deputy in the department and all.
Wait, excuse me?
You know, everybody looking down on you. You trying to figure out where you fit in. I get it, it was tough. But look at you now. You and your people have come a long way.
Get the hell out of my office.
You know what?
I'm not trying to get ill with him.
Yes, you are.
I'm just trying to level with him, brother.
Get the fuck out of my office.
Oh, you want to hit me? You want to hit me? Is that what you did to her? She said something that pissed you off and you want to knock the living dog shit out of her. Huh? When all you want is a little bit of respect and she put you down. Hell, that would have pissed me off too. I've been there. I'd have done the same damn thing.
Does anyone care what you
But you showed her, didn't you? You showed her and that girl what happens when they don't give Sheriff Jerry Jeffries a little fucking respect.
Dan, that's enough.
Really? Because you sure let him run his mouth the whole entire time. That was enough there.
You better lawyer up, you son of a bitch. Like the sheriff said, it's hunting season.
Just leave, both of you. Two freaking imbeciles. That scene right there.
I understand you've been hearing some strange noises tonight.
Saw these yellow eyes staring at me. And they were staring a long time before it let out this unholy roar. Not fit for this earth.
You want to hit me? Is that what you did to her? But you showed her, didn't you?
Sheriff, what happened at Miners Mountain?
Dan, I didn't hear you come home. It's late. Come to bed.
I have to tell you something. Do you remember the Barnes case? I saw something that night. I was driving down the mountain and I had to slam on the brakes. Someone was standing in the middle of the road. And there she was.
Oh, goodness.
She didn't seem human. It was more like an animal. And it just stared at me for the longest time. Eventually she left. I didn't know what to do. I just sat in my car for nearly an hour. Never seen anything like it. I abandoned Roseanne Barnes, Viv. Just listen to me. I abandoned that woman. And because of that, she lost her life. I can never take that back.
Jerry, every morning you go out there and you put your life on the line because you're a good man. Nothing is going to change that.
I thought that for 20 years. Truth is, I don't feel it. Something's still up there.
Whatever it is, you ain't going to find it tonight. I'm going to bring Lucy in. Go to bed.
it's just like your wife's about to go out there, bro. Why are you just standing there like you just in shock? Oh gosh. Your wife is gone, buddy. You're just standing there. Alright, you guys, I really enjoyed this horror short. This was amazing. And for a short film, if they could have made this into a full feature, I would be here for it. I'm just putting it out in the sphere. That would be awesome. I don't know how I missed this, because I try to pick different types of horror shorts, you know, when I read the storyline, the synopsis, whatever it pertains, you know, see it kind of, you know, engages me, you know, enough that I'm like, you know, this one, I like this one, you know, not just everything's always based off of a thumbnail. Sometimes a title, and then the title will catch me, and then I'll read it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like that, I'll watch it. This one, it would have gone anyway because of the title, Miner's Mountain, whatever and all, but that with the mountain being the backstory and all, it had me intrigued enough, and then seeing a little bit of the thumbnail with the gentleman's face, I think his name is Henry Backmore's character, you know, in this overall portrayal. Now, the overall premise, you know, him going out checking on, you know, a lady to see if she's okay. She's hearing, you know, rumors of goings on outside, whichever, thinking it could be maybe a deer and all that. So he goes out there. Now, I will say this, and this is me coming from a place of, you know, being a brother. And I'm just going to be honest, and no need for me to sugarcoat it. When he went back, after he checked on her, she was like, you know, I saw some eyes, you know, these yellow still staring at me, whatever and all that. That's hence, of course, why she called, and of course, eventually they probably dipped into the woods, you know, in the mountains. You can't be seen or whatever. Probably waiting it out. He goes back to the car and he, you know, locks it, but then winds in the window and then dozes off. Now I'm gonna tell you like this: true horror story fashion, whatever and all that, he would have not lived after that whatever hour he dozed off and then proceeded to leave. Then secondly, turning your car on just for you to hear like the vent of, you know, the AC heat or whatever, and just leave it like that, whatever. That's why I said, you know, I have to remind myself, you're watching something, you know, horror, whatever and all that, play along, but then it's just like certain small tendencies, like just like, oh my gosh, because you would never think in real life that person would do that, especially when it comes to their vehicle, or just the fact that the window part was the one that got me. I won't even worry about the turning on the vehicle, but the window down and you're sleeping, whatever, you're out in an area that's somewhat secluded, just her and you. But when he came to and wanted to check the noise he was hearing, which doesn't sound like, considered maybe to him an animal, and he heard him ran back to the car, he wants to leave, but it's not wants to, he think about that lady. And that's why, you know, as I continue on, and you see how circa looks like maybe 20 years might have passed, and he's being, you know, slightly, to me honestly, interrogated by these two agents who were, you know, wanting to know information, because I'm assuming a new case has come up and it has similarities to the case that happened previously with the other lady. And you can clearly see the tension, you know, them understanding, you know, you had, you know, a windshield issue, whatever, and all what happened. You know, he said he clipped the one, you know, the deer. We know how it really happened. Yes, the deer's head ended up on the front of the window, but that's not the way it happened from the way he's telling the story. And you also have to realize he's not going to tell them what he saw. We saw that scene between him and his wife. He's not going to tell them, I saw some type of, you know, looked like a female, but it looked like it could be some sort of, you know, creature, whatever. They would have believed a word, and then they would really think, honestly, he really did it. They'd already made a judge and jury out of him, especially one of the agents, whatever, who truly had such disdain for him and made it abundantly clear, you know, being very disgusting, forceful with, you know, answering questions, whatever, not, you know, making it seem like he probably didn't do anything, you know, us looking in, whatever, seeing it, him being the one, like, I don't believe this man. I think he did this, whatever, and all that. So many other parts of it, you know, let you know, definitely he didn't do it. You know, no blood on him, no nothing, whatever, and all that. Every time he had depicted, he was, you know, went out with his wife, anniversary and all that. He was with his wife, whatever. He overslept a little bit because he had an extra, you know, drink or two. Came in maybe an hour or so later, whatever, and all that. That's not so far fetched for anyone to do that. So it's like them grasping for straws. And then the part that really, you know, brought it home was the guy telling him about the other female recently, similarities in regards to her death. You know, you know that area up there, you know, and then making assumptions. You know, oh, you want to hit me, like, really? That's your go-to. You know, just, you know, putting him in this situation where you're just, you know, making an assumption about him. Oh, he's going to shred it. He's going to lash out, whatever. He has nothing ill will to that woman who died. You know, and definitely you can see it really tugged with him, because you see the scene of him at home, you know, wife's probably in the room, and when he goes to get the water, that scene, and I'm gonna tell you, when you're dealing with certain situations like that, where you're feeling, you know, your overall character is being judged, and you're, you know, being seen as something that you're not, or, you know, just that right there in instant, whatever, you can see he was very disgusted and angry and bothered by that, you know, trying to defend himself, whatever, and all that, but then not trying to come off like, you know, being too, as they say, combative. You know, sometimes it gets you riled up, whatever, and that part of his hand shaking, trying to make that glass, whatever, you could still see it was harboring, it was still on his mind, whatever, and all that. Oh man, I feel him on that scene. I felt that for him. And then him having that talk with his wife, a much needed talk, and him, you know, telling the other part where he did see, you know, this woman, you know, but he wasn't sure if it was a real woman, whichever, kind of looking more like a Wendigo of some sort, you know, whichever. And the way they sounded, you know, hence as well. And explaining how he felt so responsible for her death. I don't want to really make it seem like he really is, but I will say this. When he heard that noise, and he instinctively just wants to leave. I'm knowing myself fully, it's like, okay, you know something's definitely out there. You heard that little screeching sound of, you know, some sort of, you know, voice, whatever. I really wish he went back, but of course the overall story narrative is like he has to play along with the way the story is being told out, so it's not going to happen, you know, the way, you know, I would want it in regards to the situation with the woman. It adds layers to a story, so it is what it is. But yes, Sheriff Jeffries, aka Henry Backmore, he did a phenomenal job. I enjoyed the way he conveyed every emotion in his face when he's, you know, telling the story to the agents, you know, what he remembers, what he's, you know, conveying to his wife. And then the sad part of what happened with his wife at the end is so sad. You know, all of a sudden the cops show up. I don't know if they found out some more information over there, because, you know, trying to accuse him. Everything all of a sudden happening in ripple effect all at one time. You know, him, you know, hearing the slam of the door, knocking, his wife is gone. What I will say this, I'm like, why is your wife going out there in the middle of the night to get the dog? You know, I could see if he went out there and then it grabbed him, then, you know, it's kind of full circle. But the fact that it had to be his wife, so basically leaves him, you know, dealing with what happened the first time so many years ago, and now it's happening again, but it's happening so close on, but it happens to him personally. So, yeah, this one, yes, I so enjoyed this. So immensely. I'm definitely going to keep tabs on the writer-director of this horror short, just to see if other things, you know, they plan to put out, because this right here, they are on my radar now, and I'm loving what I just watched, and it was done so well. I just tell you, it's so refreshing, because I do a couple of horror shows here and there, and I love when something's, you know, definitely original, because when you see stuff that's being made most of the time, you know, in theaters and movies nowadays, everything wants to be a reboot or remake or whatever. I love originality, and this one this could definitely be a full feature film. Truly, that's just my personal opinion. I'm like, Lord, make it happen. That would be awesome. So with that said, you guys comment below, let me know what you think, and with that said, I'll see you guys in the next horror short. You guys take care.